Hello, Auntie.
Okay. Hi, Auntie.
Hi, Gwen. Hi, Gwen.
We just wanted to say hi. You've been posting all these video posts, and Malachi heard you and just thought it was great. So I thought I'd take the opportunity and send you a video post as well, let you know how we're doing.
I know.
Malachi, you want to tell Auntie anything special?
Yes.
Talk to Auntie.
Hello, Auntie. Guess what? I got 2 new DS games. 1, Tron Evolution. 2, Wipeout 2. And the first games I got was Metroid Prime Hunters and Phantom Club Across the Other Dimension.
Yeah, did you tell Gwenny that we're going to go see Oma? Yeah, so we're going to go visit Oma in a couple of days.
I was gonna say.
And who are you going to play with?
Devin.
Devin. Yeah. And we're going to go to Seattle.
Yeah. And then go to Space Needle.
Yeah. And the Science Center. And possibly the Aquarium and the Aviation Museum.
Aviation Museum?
Yeah. All about airplanes, remember? Yeah. All right. Let me continue talking to Auntie. All right, Malik, I just really wanted to say hi and saw that I was doing videos. So you know how little boys are. See a video, gotta make his own. As far as it goes, I am very proud of you. I know it's hard being away from your family. We talked about this at Christmas, and I just can't believe you've had the opportunity to go to Japan. I've always wanted to go to Japan. Climbing Mount Fuji, oh my gosh, I can't believe you did that. What a feat. And you have a stick to prove it. Love sticks. That's awesome. You know, I'm talking to Auntie. Thank you. So, I just, the places you've seen are amazing. I just really, I'm just wowed. Now, I understand getting music stuck in your head. I get that all the time while I'm working. Lately, I've been having Louis Armstrong stuck in my head. You know, what a wonderful world. Because, honestly, every day I'm wondering, how much money are we going to have? Are we going to be able to have food through the next pay period? Because we're pinching it tight to be able to run this business. Remember, I quit working at Starbucks back in October, and business comes, and I'll have quite a few orders back to back, and then I'll have like a month with maybe one order if I'm lucky. I've been picking up side jobs sewing on Craigslist and assisting some elderly couples with their cats, but for the most part, I've just been at home working on the website, working on new products, and just trying to get through the day, keeping Matthew sane. I love him dearly, but he gets so worried, and I understand. But luckily, we were raised knowing how to make a meal stretch. And you know me, I don't know how to make a small pot of soup. I start with a small pot, throw in a few things. Next thing you know, I've got to switch to the bigger pot. Then I throw in a few more things, and then I've got to switch to my 5-gallon stock pot. And I don't know what to do with 5 gallons worth of soup. So we'll eat it for about 3 days, and then I freeze it, and then we've got beans or soup for a month. Half the time I'm giving it away to people because by the time we're a quarter of the way through the soup, we're sick of soup. And usually by that point, the money has come in. Recently, they changed Matthew's pay periods to where they're not showing up on Friday. They started mailing his paychecks. So sometimes his paychecks show up on Saturday, and sometimes his paychecks show up on Monday. It makes it extremely difficult to try and budget grocery shopping and try and budget money for my business because we're still funding out of pocket for a lot of things. We are in the hole, but that's to be expected. They don't expect you to make a turnaround and start making a profit until you get about 3 years into the business. Now, mind you, we're keeping our fingers crossed and hoping that business is actually going to come in and we can start turning around a profit now. This morning, gotta have my cup of coffee. Mama. I'm thrilled to love the costumes. The peacock alligator one I started back in February, and I was working on it up until like the last 4 days before the event. The other costume for my friend, the black and white, that one took about 3 weeks, and half of it was already started because we deconstructed the black dress, which is one that Susie had given me. Unfortunately, I have too large of a rib cage to ever wear that dress. Even when I was at my smallest at 115 to 120, my rib cage was just too big to actually fit the dress comfortably. But my model, bless her heart, she is a pixie. She's got one of those bodies where she just can't put on weight no matter how hard she tries. And I'm sitting there looking at her going, how dare you? But, what can you do? Matthew's costume, on the other hand, that was made out of the German wool we got from one of our suppliers. We have a supplier that has fabric from the 20s and 30s in his warehouse. And that's German wool actually from the 20s. Best quality wool I've ever come across. I loved working with it. We had 20 yards. I'm working on a Victorian style coat for myself out of the same fabric. And for Matthew's suit, God, I can't believe the amount of yards of fabric it took to cover Matthew's body. I'm probably down to about 3 yards left out of 20 yards. Well worth it though. He looked amazing. I was very happy overall with the fit. There were a few issues here and there. He really wasn't wanting to be fitted. He was hardly ever home for me to get all of his measurements and do some trial runs with him. So some of it I kind of had to wing it off of clothes that he already had because he really was not wanting to be tailored to. Trying to get him to even do the photo shoot, he griped and complained. I hate having pictures taken of myself. But you know what? For such a large guy to have an outfit fit nicely, I was very pleased. One of the best things for his outfit would have been the felted hat. If you were watching the posts, I worked on felting the hat 2, 3 weeks off and on, trial and error, trial and error, trial and error. There were no videos or tutorials on how to felt the hat properly. They only showed you what to do, not what not to do. And some of them didn't express how to do it on a larger scale. So my first felting job didn't work, fell apart, was a mess. Didn't even post pictures of it. I was in the bathroom felting in Malachi's tub for hours and hours. And it got to a point where I was so frustrated with it that I was tearing these little matted tufts of fur and just throwing it at the shower in tears, screaming at it. If it weren't for Matthew coming in, turning off the water, and pulling me away, I would have probably stayed in there all night. It was that frustrating. So I took a day break, did it again. That time we did some of the felting in the dryer. Unfortunately, Matthew neglected to keep an eye on it while it was in the dryer, and I had errands to run, and it ended up felting for over an hour. I ended up with something small enough to fit Malachi's head. The third time, I ended up using something that was too small of a size to start with. And it still gave me what I needed to be able to felt, and I was able to get the top of a hat felted. And so you see here we've got the top of the hat is actually felted, but I didn't have enough to make the brim. So the brim of this one we're doing satin, and you see it shining in there. And it's actually got some other wool fabric to help support the brim inside. So this hat is almost finished. I've got to put its decorative band on it, a feather, and then put a lining on it so you don't see this nasty inside. I'm very pleased with the overall on this one. This one's dye job did not work out properly, and so it looks kind of marbleized, which is really cool, and it brushed out very smooth. Matthew prefers this hat over the second hat that finally worked out. This one I felted over my balance ball for yoga, and I was able to get it big enough to actually do a brim. Now this one is actually felted out of dyed rabbit fur, which I dyed first, realizing that for the wool, instead of using salt with the dye, you have to use vinegar with the dye to change the pH level enough that the rabbit fur pores open up. And this is rabbit fur and alpaca. Alpaca, when felted, stays really fuzzy. Oh my gosh, we had fibers coming off of the hat that were just sticking all over the place. We ended up having to, once we blocked the hat and stiffened it, we had to take a razor to it and give it a shave so that it wasn't so fuzzy. This one we decided to do a rolled brim. So you can see here that it's got a nice roll all the way around, but no roll in the front. I personally love the way this one turned out because it's not a flat brim. For Matthew being so tall, I think a flat brim just gives him too much shape, too much broadness to him. But he likes to be big. He's already just a big man and can't lose shape. We've tried everything. So, but it's also hard because of his driving schedule for work. He doesn't get to eat full meals. He'll do a 10-hour straight run, no breaks, no lunch breaks. Public services, they don't get lunch breaks. If he's lucky, he'll have a split shift and work 4 hours in the morning and then have 3 hours off midday where he can eat and then work another 7 or 8 hours in the evening. He's gone anywhere between
Not that
4 or
much
5
money
o'clock in
and
the
one cup.
morning, and there are days where he doesn't get home till anywhere between 7 and 1 o'clock in the morning. It varies. So I see him when he's on his days off. On the days that he works and he comes home in the evening, he needs to just have an hour to 2 hours to decompress. So I just kind of shut him in his room and say, go play your games, leave us alone, I understand. And then he'll come out and be part of the family. But if he doesn't get that decompression time, it really makes it difficult as a family to get things accomplished. Bless his heart for being such a supportive man. I really don't know if I would be able to run this business and try and push myself, burning the candle at both ends, to try and get this business off the ground if he wasn't there to really tell me I can do this and motivating me and encouraging me. And he helps pick out fabrics. If I've run into a problem with a fit issue or a fabric combination issue, because certain fabrics you really shouldn't sew together, but I've had a few customers that want that look or want the fit, like a combination of jersey and chiffon. Jersey stretches one way, chiffon stretches a different way, and if you try and sew the two together, you get weird puckers going on. And to really get those to fit properly, you have to sew them well on the mannequin. So you end up doing 90% handwork to get it done right. I'm excited.
Auntie, and I also have a new Wii game called Wipeout 3.
Mm-hmm.
Even more new. Even I have a Wii and another new Wii game called Thrillville of the Whales. Even Epic Mickey. Even Club Penguin. Even Super Mario Party 8.
He's so excited to say hi, and he misses you guys. I miss you guys. Speaking of, you said you're going to Australia. I have a really good friend out in Australia. I've known her for 7 years now, 8 years now. Allergies. Nothing stops the nose itch, so I just kind of deal with it. I have a good friend out in Australia, like I was saying, and
Jump up.
I'll see if I can contact her before you get there and see what things there are for you for hiking and activities outside of your bars and malls for Sydney. I'm sure there's a lot of things there that she could show you or tell me about that I can share with you that would be fun for you. Um, yeah, right now I'm planning to go visit mom. She came down about 2 years ago and watched Malachi for a weekend in October, so Matthew and I had a time together. This was before we started the business, but we really didn't get to spend time with each other then. So the last time I've really gotten to spend time with mom was about 3 years ago. We haven't had a reliable enough vehicle to get me out there, and to fly is just too expensive with Malachi. We were looking at almost $400 for the two of us round trip. A couple months ago, my father-in-law, Matthew's father, he decided that he was moving to Havasu and wanted us to be able to come out to visit him. And he knew that both of our cars had been in and out of the shops and not reliable. So he went ahead and cash deal bought me a brand new 2014 Nissan. I love this car. I get almost 40 to the gallon. I've already calculated the gas to go visit mom, and it's only going to be about $240 round trip. So I am ecstatic. We kind of started planning the trip about a month ago, but not exactly setting definite dates. But we've assessed that we are going to go, and well, at least Malachi and I are going to go. Matthew can't get the time off work. I haven't assessed when I'm coming home yet because I just want to play it by ear and just have fun with mom and really just spend some time with her. I miss her. I miss all of the family. I miss not being able to see them. So on my way out, I'm going to, of course, drive up to Paradise, spend the night with Grandma Dresser. I'd see Grandpa and Aunt Becky, but they're in Salt Lake City right now, so I won't see them on the first stretch of the trip. I swing in and say hi to Anthony's, and then I'm going to, the following day, swing up to see Grandpa Dennis, spend the night there, and spend some time with them. And then after that, I'll drive up to Washington. I've come up with some great activities to keep Malachi busy on the road. I've purchased some audiobooks through some of these free download sites where you get like a 30-day free trial, and you just cancel before the trial period, and you get to keep the books. So it's like awesome. I've got like Winnie the Pooh and some of the Beatrix books, Peter Rabbit, and Peter Pan, A Tale of Flopsy Mopsy, and we're going to listen to books on the drive. Tomorrow I'm going to go to Fry's and see about getting Malachi his own digital camera so that he can take his own pictures on the trip and not have to pay the money to have them developed. He can just plug them right into his own computer and have his own pictures to commemorate his very first long road trip. I'm contemplating on the way back either taking the PCH home and making it another week's drive just to get home, or stopping into Yosemite, or even taking him to see the sequoias. He's at that age right now where just seeing the world and getting involved with nature really excites him. He loves science. He wants to be on the team in 30 years to go to the mission on Mars. I can't keep up with him. He's so into science and so into what's going on around him that he's every day new questions. How do you do this? How do you do that? Why does this work? And so I'm always going on and finding him the scientific explanations as to why or how or what. And the most I can do with him right now is just encourage him. Yeah, everyone's like, aren't you going to have another? And my mother-in-law is like, you need to have another child. And with how active Malachi is and how involved with expensive interests Malachi is, and the fact that I'm running my business and trying to be the housewife and do everything I can to keep this home running smoothly, I just don't have the time. It wouldn't be fair to Malachi, it wouldn't be fair to Matthew, and it wouldn't be fair to myself, let alone being fair to another child. So we have friends over often and let Malachi play with friends' kids, and that's about the extent of other kids for us, and that's fine. He's going into the first grade at the end of this month, or August. We're not in August yet, we're in July. End of August, he'll be going into the first grade, and he'll make a lot of friends. We're walking distance from the school, and it's great. This year, he finally started swimming. He's not afraid of the water anymore. Oh my, I'm already at 20 minutes on this video. Ugh, I miss you. I am proud of you. Seeing your video almost brought me to tears because I could hear in your voice how strong you are being and how hard you're trying to do what you need to for your family. And I await the day that you're able to really be with your family all the time so you can be with your kids so that you can really just be family again. I remember with Dad being in the Navy growing up and him not being home, how hard it was. And I'm really proud of you. And I miss you. And when you get home, you're going to have to come down and visit. I really would love to have you over, even for a short little while, just to take a break. I'm sure Malachi would love playing with Danny and Kiora again. He always talks about them at Christmas. And he's like, I want to see them, and I want to play with them, and I want to go have fun. And my little lover boy never gives me a break. Alright, well, this is getting a bit long. I don't know if you'll be able to watch it all in one sitting. Don't know if I'm even going to be able to upload it to Facebook with how long it is. I may have to cut it into several posts. But that's where business is. That's how we're doing. Overall, I mean, we're doing good. I've got some changes I'll be posting to my website. Hold on, baby. I've got some new changes to my website with items under $100, with items that will be offered in small, medium, and large. And I should have those up by the end of the month. Susie is working on doing the final edits for me. And once the final... Okay. And once the final edits are done for the verbal posts for my new products, I'll be able to finish building those out on my site and have those up. I'll be working while I'm at Mom's. You know me. When you run your own business, there's no rest. Every day is a work day, even if it's only for 3 or 4 hours here, or every time you're out shopping or running errands. So I'm constantly working. Oh yeah, on a good feat, with Malachi swimming right now, I've been out there with him swimming laps, and I've been able to do a good, gosh, I lost count yesterday. I got to 6 laps and just kind of kept going. And then Malachi wanted to splash and play some. So I think I maybe did 8 laps in the pool, 9 laps in the pool, and didn't even think about it. So been doing that. Got to get back into my Zumba. Been trying to keep myself physically active and keep myself busy when I'm not working on sewing. I have to stay physically active. If I let my body rest, I hurt. And when I'm sitting at my butt sewing all day, you're not really being physically active. So I try every hour to get up and do a few stretches, and I try every day in the morning or in the evening, depending on my schedule, to do at least 30 minutes of some sort of physical activity to get my heart rate up and get my body pumping and try and keep my joints from cramping up on me. So yeah, there you have it. I'd say good to see you, but this is as close to seeing you as we're gonna get for a while, so I look forward to hearing your adventures in Australia, and like I said, I'll get back to you. I'll talk to my friend who lives out there and see what she has recommended near the Sydney area that would be easy for you to get to for fun hiking or something along that lines for you to do while you're there. Have a safe journey. Bye.